Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhav, Radha Shamsundar, Krishna, Ram, Bal, Gopal, Nrsimhadev, Jagannath, Baladeshwar, Gaunitai, Tulsi, Mani, Haridas Thakur, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, and the assembled, Guru Maharaj and the assembled devotees. So we wanted to start a session, some sessions on the abodes of the Lord. So we looking at all the different residencies of the Lord, including this material world as well. So one of a great place to start when we uh, are considering looking at these the abodes of the is the Brahma Samhita, because Lord Brahma gives quite a description of the spiritual realm, especially Golok. So he starts with this verse of the in the fifth chapter. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigra Nadir Adir Govinda Sarvakaran Karana. And the translation is Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin. And he is the prime cause of all causes. So this is a wonderful verse which, if possible, devotees can memorize and recite it every day. Such a beautiful verse. And this is verse 43 of that same chapter in the Brahma Samhita, which gives an idea of, which gives us such a nice overview. Go loka namni nijadamni chale chatasya devi mahesha haridama shute shuteshu te te prabhava nichaya vihitascha yena govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Lowest of all is located Devi Dham, the mundane world. So Devi Dham, Devi is Durga Mata. It's her place. Devi Dham, she's the guardian of this world. Next above it is Mahesh Dham, abode of Mahesh. That's Lord Shiva. Above Mahesh Dham is placed Hari Dham, abode of Hari, and that is Vaikuntha. Hari is also known as Vishnu or Narayan, and above them all is located Krishna's own realm named Golok. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allotted their respective authorities to the rulers of those graded realms. So this is a little bit of an overview. This is a phenomenal Golok chart. So we start with Devidam as discussed in this verse. And although in this picture, Devidam looks like it's a third of the creation, it's not. The material world is a very small part. It's in the northeast corner of Vaikuntha here. And it's a very small part of the whole creation, if you like. It is said to be not even a quarter of the size of Vaikuntha. But within that quarter are millions of universes, millions. And we're in the smallest one. Anyway, that's Devi Dham. Then we have Mahesh Dham, which is in between the material and the spiritual, which is very unique indeed. And later on, we will have a look at Mahesh Dham in some little detail. Haridham is Vaikuntha. And there's something called the Brahman or the Brahma Jyoti, which is effectively the effulgence of the Lord. So there is nothing except this effulgence, this light, Brahma Jyoti. Then we have Ayodhya, above Vaikuntha. And then we have Golok, Krishna's abode, which is, in that verse, explained to be the highest of them all. So, names of Krishna's personal abode. There are many names given to Krishna's abode. And sometimes it can get a little confusing. Golok is one, planet of cows. Gokul is shelter or cow shelter. Brindavan, forest of Tulasi. Krishnalok, planet of Krishna. Shwetadweep, ocean of milk. Now, the first four are very common when we talk about Krishna's abode. Shwetadweep, however, is um, actually located in this universe itself. There is a Shwetadweep where Lord Vishnu has a planet and he resides there. And that's also known as Shwetadweep. But it can also refer to Krishna's abode. All these names of Krishna's abode are used interchangeably. So sometimes we use Golok, we use Goku, Vrindavan, Krishna. However, to avoid confusion in this presentation, Golok can refer to Krishna's abode in the spiritual world. And Gokul can refer to his abode where he descends to this material world. Now, when Krishna descends to this material world, he doesn't still touch this material world. He's got nothing to do with this material world. When he comes, he brings his spiritual planet, spiritual substance with him. So he's not actually in direct touch with this material world. When Krishna descends to the material world, Golok also descends with him to serve and is known as Gokul. So why focus on Golok? So what's Srila Prabhupada got to say about Golok? The whole material universe is called Devi Dham, and above it is Shiva Dham, where Lord Shiva and his wife Parvati eternally reside. Above that planetary system is the spiritual sky, where innumerable spiritual planets known as Vaikunthas are situated. And above these Vaikuntha planets is Krishna's planet, known as Golok Vrindavan. The word Golok means planet of the cows because Krishna is very fond of cows. His abode is known as Golok. Golok Vrindavan is larger than all the material and spiritual planets put together. So, this is from Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Interesting how Golok is bigger than everything put together. So, this is a very interesting family tree of Lord Krishna. It's actually Lord Krishna's tree. And he's right at the top of it, the cause of all causes, as he says in that Brahma Samhita, first verse of the 5th chapter. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. So from Krishna comes Balaram, first expansion, from whom comes this Chaturvya, four quadruple incarnations. And from Shankarachan comes Narayan, from Narayan comes another Chatur incarnations, four incarnations. And then from the second Shankarachan comes Mahavishnu, from whom comes Garbhadaksha Vishnu, from whom comes Shiradaksha Vishnu. So Garbhadaksha Vishnu, Karadaksha Vishnu, also known as Mahavishnu, he lies on the Kashmir ocean, and as he breathes out, millions of universes come out of the pores of his skin, his body. Millions of universes. And each universe has a lifespan of 311 trillion 40 billion years. That's how long a universe lasts. And we are about halfway through that at this moment in time. And that is equal to one breath of Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So we can see the greatness of God. You know, people often talk about how great he is. This is a little idea of how great he is. And he is only an incarnation of 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 Krishna. So we can see the greatness of the Lord. One should also always meditate upon the dealings between Radha and Krishna in the transcendental world. One should think of Radha and Krishna 24 hours a day and engage in their service within one's mind, not externally change one's dress. By adopting the mood of the associates and friends of Radharani and following in their footsteps, one can ultimately achieve the perfectional stage of being transferred to Golok Vrindavan, the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. Again, teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Beyond the limitations of this material world is a spiritual sky, Parav Yoma, which has many spiritual planets, the supreme of which is called Krishnalok. So this is again Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. Krishna Lok, the abode of Krishna, has three divisions, which are known as Dwaka, Mathura, and Golok, Gokul. So within Krishna Lok, within Golok, there are three divisions: Dwaka, Mathura, and Gokul. In that abode, the personality of Godhead expands himself into the four plenary portions: Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. They are known as the original quadruple form. Interesting. So, Lord resides eternally in his abode, Golok. This is in the Bhagavad Gita introduction. The supreme abode known as Golok is manifested like a lotus flower with hundreds of petals. Everything there is manifested by Ananta, the Balaram or the Sankarsan form. He does not possess bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between his body and the soul. So he doesn't have a gross body like us with earth, water, fire, air, ether. His body is completely spiritual. He is absolute. All his senses are transcendental, and any one of his senses can perform the action of any other sense. Therefore, no one is greater than him or equal to him. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Okay, now in the different scriptures, Golok is mentioned. In the Rig Veda, I won't read that. I won't get it right. And with the Rig Veda, it's good to get it right. This is one of the Vedas where you have to get the pronunciation right. We wish to go to your Radha and Krishna's beautiful houses about which cows with large, excellent horns are wandering. Yet distinctly shining on this earth is that supreme abode of yours that showers joy on all. O Urugaya, Krishna, who is much praised. So, in the Harivams, above this heaven is Golok, governed by sadhyas. That great world of Lord Krishna pervades great sky all over. It is above all the worlds. Brahma Vivarta Puran. The highest abode of Golok is situated 50 crore yojanas. That's one yojana is 8 kilometers above the abode of Vaikuntha. It is the best of all places. That's 400 million miles. Wow. Again in the same Purana. This abode of Golok is situated outside the Brahman, the universe. It is the topmost abode. There is no other abode higher than this. Beyond this, nothing exists, only void remains, infinite emptiness and darkness. Indeed, this Golok is the end of all the creation. Brihat Brahma Samhita. This is a Pancharatra Samhita. The abode of Golok is situated above all places. It is completely beyond matter, transcendental. Vayu Purana also describes the supreme abode of Golok, wherein Lord Krishna and Devi Radha reside eternally. Lord Krishna, who is the lover of Srimati Radha, is the supreme Purush described in the Vedas. By him, all this world is manifested. He indeed is the non-Jew Nirguna Brahman, described by the Vedas, who resides in the eternal abode of Golok. Brahmanda Purana also mentions Golok as the Lord Krishna's abode. Vasudeva Mahatmya of Skanda Purana also mentions the abode of Golok. Valmiki Ramayana. High-souled men, wholly devoted to their parents, obtain the regions of gods and the Gandharvas. The seventh heaven presided the Gandharvas, the seventh heaven presided by Brahma, creator, and Golok, the highest heaven, abiding in cows and presided over by Shri Radha and Sri Krishna, the first couple. Narad Pancharatra. The predominator of the gopis, Govinda, the principal deity of Gokul, always enjoys himself in a place called Golok, in the topmost part of the spiritual sky. There's a lot of evidence in the scriptures about Golok. Skanda Purana. I move about in many forms on earth, in Vaikuntha and in eternal abode Golok, O Kaunteya. Markandeya Puran. In Kali Yuga, I will leave Golok, and to save the people of the world, I will become the handsome and playful Lord Gauranga. Thus, the abode of Golok is described variously in Vedic scriptures. The above statements from the Puranas, Pancharatras, etc., are consistent with the statements of the Vedas. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. The aim of life is to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. So, this is a very interesting Golok. It's worshipable like Krishna. It is the conclusive opinion of Lord Chaitanya that the most worshipable form of the Lord is that of Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrindavan Dham is the topmost worshipable abode. Chaitanya Mata Manjusa. Commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam by Srinath Chakravarti. Brahma, being desirous of satisfying Govinda, practiced the cultural acts for Krishna in Golok, the Lord of Shvetadvip, for a long time. His meditation ran thus. There exists a divine lotus of 1,000 petals, augmented by millions of filaments, in the transcendental land of Gokul. Golok, sorry. So we're going to look at this roll. It's like the lotus flower. On its roll, there exists a great divine throne, on which is seated Sri Krishna, the form of eternal effulgence of transcendental bliss. Playing on his divine flute resonate with the divine sound, with his lotus mouth. He is worshipped by the amorous milkmaids with their respective subjective portions and extensions, and also by his external energy, who stays outside, embodying all mundane qualities. So we'll see this lotus. Actually, it's the whole basis of Golok is this lotus. And that's described by Brahma in some detail in the Brahma Samhita. Demigods visited Golok. Once Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Narad Muni to describe different assembly halls. This is in the Brahma Vaivarta Puran. Narad explains that Devatas went to see the abodes of Yama, Indra, and says Brahma's was the best. Changes color, shape, etc. But Brahma says to Devatas, come and see Shiva's abode. Even better. Shiva in turn says Vishnu's is the best and took the Devatas there. Vishnu says Vaikuntha is not as opulent as Gokul. And that Krishna resides in Golok, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, and took the Devatas to Golok. Very unusual and great fortune for the Devatas. They were stopped by the gatekeepers of Golok. Devatas see the opulence and are amazed. Chintamani stones, 108 varieties of Surabhi cows, Kalpavriksha trees everywhere. But devotees there never cared for the opulence because of their great love for the Lord. So this is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sarvopari Shri Gokula Vrajaloka Shri Goloka Shvetadvip Vrindavananam. Shri Gokul, the highest of all, is also called Braj, Golok, Shvetadvip, and Vrindavan. So lots of different names. Chintamani Pakara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Lakshavadeshu Shurabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambhrama Sevamanam Govindamadi Purusham Namaham Bhajami. 29th verse of the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purple streets, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or gopis. This is the first of the verses which end with Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami, and very beautiful verses recited, composed by um, Brahma. Description of Golok. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we find descriptions of Lord Krishna's eternal abode, such as this one. Golok is full of cows. There are many waterfalls which are always pouring water, and the sound is so sweet that it covers the sound of the crickets. And because water flows all over, the forest always looks very green and beautiful. The inhabitants of Vrindavan are never disturbed by the scorching heat of the sun or high summer temperatures. The lakes of Vrindavan are surrounded by green grass, and various kinds of lotus flowers bloom there. The air blowing in Vrindavan carries the aromatic pollen of those lotus flowers. When the particles of water from the waves of the Yamuna river, the lakes, and the waterfalls touch the bodies of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they automatically feel a cooling effect. Vrindavan is such a nice place. Flowers are always blooming, and there are even various kinds of decorated deer. Birds are chirping, peacocks are crowing and dancing, and bees are humming. The cuckoos there sing nicely in 5 kinds of tunes. Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, blowing his flute, accompanied by his elder brother Balaram and the other cowherd boys and the cows, enter the beautiful forest of Vrindavan to enjoy the atmosphere. They walk into the midst of newly grown leaves of trees, whose flowers resemble peacock feathers. They are garlanded by these flowers and decorated with saffron chook. Sometimes they're dancing and singing, sometimes wrestling with one another. While Krishna dances, some of the cowherd boys sing and others play on flutes. Some bugle on buffalo horns or clap their hands praising Krishna. Dear brother, you're dancing so very nicely. Every step is a dance and every word is a song. So this is a little idea of what Golok, Gokul may look like. Of course, we cannot possibly everyone imagine what it's like, but this might give us a little idea. Right. So now we'll see the description. Golok in Brahma Samhita. Sahasrapatra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam Tatkarnikaram Taddama Tad Anantam Sa Sambhavam. The spiritual place of transcendental pastimes of Krishna is portrayed in the second verse. The super excellent station of Krishna, which is known as Gokul, has thousands of petals and a corolla like that of a lotus sprouted from a part of his infinite aspect, the role of the leaves being the actual abode of Krishna. So this is text number 3. The role of that transcendental lotus is the realm wherein dwells Krishna. So Brahma is giving us the exact location of where Krishna lives in Golok. There's a lotus with 1,000 petals, and in the middle there's the roll, the center part. That's where Krishna resides. It is a hexagonal figure, the abode of the indwelling, predominated and predominating aspect of the absolute. Like a diamond, the central supporting figure of self-luminous Krishna stands as the transcendental source of all potencies. The holy name consisting of the 18 transcendental letters. That's Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, the Gayatri Mantra, is manifested in an hexagonal figure with 6-fold divisions. Oh, sorry, I think that is actually not Gayatri. that is the Krishna Gayatri mantra. Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhayana Swaha. So this is the rule. This is the center of the lotus. And then we have lots and lots of petals. And each petal is significant. The closer the petal, the closer the relationship between that particular devotee whose petal it is and Krishna. And surrounding the lotus is a roll, sorry, is the eight gopis. The eight gopis. There you go. The eight gopis. The hexagonal figure with six-fold divisions. This is actually a yantra. It's two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. It's a mystical diagram to embody the mantra of the presiding deity. Two-dimensional picture of the spiritual world, usually worshipped on Nishinga altar. So when we see Nishinga's altar, usually this yantra is present. There are six divisions as a result of two triangles. The Gopal Gayatri mantra is manifested. That's the Kling Krishna Govinda Gopijamavaswa. Gayatam Triyate Tasmat Gayatri Tvam Tat Tatha Smita. One who chants the Gayatri mantra is gradually delivered from the material clutches. In other words, that which delivers one from material entanglement is called Gayatri. No pictures are required for yantra to be worshipped. It's just a two-dimensional figure, hexagonal. When we do yakyas, yantras are drawn in the queen so that his abode is present. So this is representing his abode. Let me just see if I can find. No, okay, I can't. It's okay. Brahma Samhita 5.4. Tat kinjalkan tad amshanam tat pratina shriyam api. The role of that eternal realm, Gokul, is the hexagonal abode of Krishna. Its petals are the abodes of gopis, who are part and parcel of Krishna, to whom they are most lovingly devoted and are similar in essence. The petals shine beautifully like so many walls. The extended leaves of that lotus are like garden-like dham, i.e. the spiritual abode of Sri Radhika, the most beloved of Krishna. So this is the magnificent Maya deities in Mayapur, Lord Radha Madhav. And then we have Lalita, Vishaka. These are the eight gopis. Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Lalita, Champakalata, Chitra, Tungavidya. This is truly one of the most glorious temples in the world. The associates of Radha are called gopis or sakis, and their assistants are called manjaris. The sakis' affection for Radha and Krishna is so pure that they are simply satisfied when they are united. Although the sakis do not expect any personal attention from Krishna, Radha is so pleased with them, she will arrange individual union between Krishna and them. The manjaris, being young, very young girls, do not have direct contact with Krishna. And so their prema, love of Krishna, is aroused only upon seeing Radha and Krishna together. On the other hand, since Radha and the Sakis have direct contact with Krishna's body, so the kind of prem they felt is aroused only when they are in vipralamba, i.e., they are separated. When they're separated, they feel that love of the other party expand unlimitedly. The glories of the Manjaris, however, are that they are granted to witness the various loving exchanges of the divine couple in their private quarter, allowing them to do so many services in that secret affair. The reason for this is that Radha and Krishna are not embarrassed in front of them. See, the Sakhis, they are similar age, but the Manjaris are regarded to be younger. This is one of the most incredible paintings, amazingly done. And if you notice closely, there are Manjaris hiding in the shadow there. They are witnessing. They are witnessing sweet pastimes of the Lord. Even here, if we look, you can see the Manjaris here. Don't know if you can just about see that. There's one there. There's one there. Such an amazing painting. Almost hidden. And Radha and Krishna are not shy to do pastimes in front of them. So, who are these Manjaris? There's Rupa Manjari, who came as Rupa Goswami. She's the head of the Manjaris. Rati Manjari is Raghunath Das Goswami. Sanatan Goswami is Lavanga Manjari. Manjulali Devi came as Lokanath Goswami. Raghunath Bhatt Goswami came as Rag Manjari. Kashtum, she came as Krishnadas Goswami. Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Guna Manjari. Vilash Manjari is Jiva Goswami. So these are really very powerful devotees. And we actually try to follow in their footsteps. Although it's of course not possible, but we beg for their mercy, the Manjaris, because the previous acharyas, they more or less all were servants of these Manjaris. So, divisions of Gokul. Okay, this I think we can do on Monday. We can stop there. Any questions, any comments? It's quite intense in the sense that to understand, of course, the abode of the Lord is not so easy. But Lord
It is
Brahma,
so complex.
yes, yes.
I get just so lost thinking, my God.
Yes, it is complex.
Very, very complex.
Of course, because it's the Lord's abode, you know. You can just imagine London is complex, you know, to get to one place to another. What's the spiritual world like? So, okay, sure.
See?
Yes,
Hare
yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind.
Say that Krishna does not come to this material world, but he came 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan.
Yes.
In this world, and he had I know he's spiritual, but he took this human form, isn't it?
Yes.
But
Yes.
he came to this, but he did come down.
No, yeah, and his form is his original form. He came in his original form, not human form. We are built in his image, not the other way around. And when he comes, he does come, absolutely he comes. But when he comes, he said not to directly be in touch with this world. He brings Golok with him. And in Golok, in this material world, within this material world, Golok is manifested. That was mentioned really at the early stage of this session. Prabhupada mentions it in one of his purports, that he actually brings the whole spiritual world with him and he performs different leelas.
Okay, so where Vrindavan had performed the Leelas, it was actually in Golok Vrindavan, isn't it? The original spiritual abode.
Well, he brought it here. So the leelas took place on this earth, but because he brought, like, just like some of these drama sets, people who go around, they take everything. They take the furniture, they take the stage, they take, of course, the clothes. It's a bit like that. They take everything is brought from the spiritual world, and it's like it's put together here so that the drama can take place. So it's a very similar sort of scenario. So it is hard to completely envisage it, But we understand that Krishna has nothing to do with this material world. He doesn't contact it. When he wants to, he becomes Shiva. Shiva is in direct contact with this material world. And that's why he's differentiated from Vishnu. Because also Vishnu has nothing to do with this material world. When he comes here, Vaikuntha comes with him. Yeah, it's quite complex. And that is very complex. Hard to
But
completely.
he took a spiritual form. He was not like what we can see in pictures and in sort of dramas. Like us. He's not like us at that time, wasn't he?
Correct. His form is completely spiritual. But having said that, the Vedas, the scriptures do describe him. Brahma Samhita describes him, what's that verse? Vainam Kwanantam Aravindam Dalayataksham. He says, his skin color is that like of a freshly formed dark monsoon rain cloud.
Mm.
So that description is there, and he does look, if you like a human, but actually it's the other way around. We look like him. Um, so he has a form which is glorious and most magnificent, and that form is eternal. And it never, he can do anything with any of his senses. He can eat with his eyes, for example, because his form is not material, it's completely spiritual.
Even in Bhagavad Gita, it says that you have to worship. If you want to worship this two-handed spine, isn't it?
That's
So,
it.
yeah. But whatever form he is, unlike us, it is spiritual. Yes.
Yes,
It
correct.
may be human form, but maybe it's spiritual.
Yes, may look like a human form, but
Yes.
it's completely spiritual.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. But we are made in his image. It's not that he's made in our image. Yeah.
Yeah, we have made that image. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for suggesting to do this. It's always an absolute pleasure to go through this because it's so amazing. And Lord, we'll see how Lord Brahma expands in the next session about what what Golok looks like. Okay, anything else? Anybody else? Otherwise, we can stop there. Okay. Golok Dham ki jai, Shri Krishna Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki jai.